1, 2. Chris Morris.
It is a disgrace and it is a public scandal.
Chris Morris. Morris.
Also got the feedback reports, which prove that soliciting public opinion is the stupidest idea since discovering that you're made out of 90% water and privatizing your soul. Other instant giveaways include today £10,000 or a free Ford Herpes if you can remember your name, phone us up, and find something remotely funny and some fun.
We're hearing quite a lot of people being forced to pump themselves up. Do you think this is a good idea?
No.
Why not?
Too much pressure.
Too much pressure can inflate the head?
Oh, yes. Most decidedly.
And an inflated head, of course, can lead to people having too high an opinion of themselves.
Yeah.
So, how high should one's opinion of oneself be allowed to rise? Above ground level?
Above ground level? About 18 inches, perhaps.
No more?
Perhaps less.
And that, I suppose, would be determined by the degree of inflation of the ego.
Oh, yes.
To what pressure do you think the ego should be inflated, then?
2-3 pounds square inch.
I'd like to know how you feel about the recent incidences of potato assault.
What salt?
Potato assault.
What potato?
It's a couple of incidences where people have been knocked unconscious by large brick-sized potatoes.
Shocking. No, there's no doubt about that. Should chastise them more. Give them the bloody cane, that's all.
So you feel quite strongly that potato should not be used as a weapon of assault?
Anti.
You're anti-potato assault?
Anti against the salt. I don't like it.
What damage could you do with a large potato?
Oh, you could break a fella's head, so to speak, couldn't you?
What do you think should be the punishment for somebody using a potato in a ballistic and bellicose fashion?
For 3 months in jail.
How do you feel about dwindling gnat power?
Oh, not very good about that, actually.
Small insects have become quite weakened by the whole situation.
For the whole atmosphere, really, it's just got out of hand, really.
There is a ray of hope in that it's been found that it's possible to artificially boost their power by the use of microelectronics and very small engines.
So stressed out that every time you blink, adrenaline shoots out of your eyes? Are rabid baboons alive in your brain? Do you have a body so tense that your legs twang top E? Well, today you can win the easy way to drive out the angst and leave it in someone else's car park. Simple but effective. Throughout the ages, man has been soothed by the tranquility of music, and that healing power could be yours. In a compilation of the world's greatest works on, now that's what I call a good organ recital.
Liver and kidney and bladder and colon, nostril and lung and brain and tonsil, spleen, stomach, adrenals and inner ear.
Now that's what I call an organ recital, with full color picture guide, a quarterly updated list of current market prices, and a special recipe book, 101 ways to make a doner kebab.
Why doesn't? Chris. Just work, go goose and goat.
Ever pause to consider the amount of space that you personally devote to gas?
Not really.
We're not consciously very careful about leaving gaps or spaces for gas in our house, are we?
Well, not really. We've never thought about it, have we?
What one item or piece of furniture would you be prepared to sacrifice in the interests of devoting just a little bit more space to gas?
Cocktail cabinet.
Would you agree with that?
No, I would say we have several chairs and things like that that we could get rid of.
Which you would jettison in order to devote a little bit more space to gas?
Yeah.
Real challenge this time, but with a combination of wood fungus, mandrill, adrenaline and feminax, they produced an even more striking selection for the Best of Innovations 1989. The Sonic Pest Repeller. Safe for pets, but a distressing ultrasonic sound wave eliminates rodents by disrupting their nervous system. Switch it on, bang goes the gerbil. Or the instant steam cleaner. Just the thing if you're constantly embarrassed by the filthy condition of your steam. And at last, the £50 machine that puts your favorite photos on video. So much more convenient to set up the camera, illuminate the snapshot, roll the tape, place it in the machine and spool onto the selected picture, rather than the physically crippling and emotionally exhausting routine of looking at an album. The Best of Innovations 1989, we're giving them away because, let's face it, who would buy them?
What are your feelings about modern-day hair direction?
Well, so long as it's fairly conventional styles, not multicoloured or peculiar cuts.
So you're quite in favour of the strong direction for hair?
Yes, why not?
In your opinion, what would that ideal direction be?
I think it depends on the person, the shape of the face and their personality.
Let's take someone with a triangular face. What would be the ideal direction for their hair?
Well, not too much of a bouffant style, so it's fairly close into the face.
And the actual direction?
Well, I think east to west.
Rectifying rubber finger stalls. Falling down half a hole. Befuddling your mechanic by retuning your engine to concert pitch. Liver fountains. Steeple accelerators for about 2 minutes. I've not succeeded yet, but I'm sure it is possible to smoke a pipe underwater. You see, the heat in the bowl should persuade the nearby water to steam, producing in the process a comfortable pocket of rejoicing gases, within which a satisfying and mellow smoke should ensue, with the water acting as a filter, as in the manner of the traditional shisha of kebab. The bladder of it is, every time I'm on the point of proving my theorem, some officious tripe head has me removed from the deep end of the public swimming bath and dispatched with great indignity. Clapton's teeth! Whither science now, I ask? Rubber gnats. Blundering hopelessly into a deep continental drift. Pajama excuses that slot easily into concave mirrors, like in physics at school. Thoughtlessly for etting, oh, move your ong. Raising yourself on one elbow. Not exactly a complete education, is it?
Through 17 bowls of muesli, explore the intoxicating capacity of lighter fuel, or throw cats upside down from upstairs windows just to giggle at their frantic wriggling and record the noise when they land. Because you'll never be short of an idea or two with 101 things to say and do on a rainy afternoon, including ringing up your local radio station and pretending that you've won a stupid prize just to make them say something silly. It's silly.
Hello, BBC Ultrasound.
Good morning. I won a competition a few days ago. I won a recipe.
Oh, right, yes.
And it was on a Friday night.
Yes.
And it was a baby recipe.
Baby recipe, right.
Do you know how long it would take to cook one?
Are you in a saucepan? Are you boiling?
Yes, baby in a saucepan, yeah.
Yeah, about 15 to 20 minutes, I should think.
Until what?
Until it's soft.
Right, okay, thank you.
All right.
101 Things to Do on a Rainy Afternoon also includes tips for strangers to London, including LRT's request stop facility, just pull the red lever when you want to stop, a manhole cover remover so you can see which gerbil is winning, and how to pull 999 legs off a millipede so it has to hop.
Today we're addressing the problem of the impending stair shortage. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think stairs, I go up and down stairs a lot.
So I imagine you're the kind of person who finds stairs quite useful.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Yeah.
What do you use them for, mainly?
Well, I mean, we've got...
Several, I imagine.
Several flights of stairs, and we're up and down all day long, and I mean, it keeps us fit. It's always kept me fit.
What do you think they're more useful for, actually going up or going down?
Well, going up.
Obviously, if we limited their use to just going up, then the wear and tear would be decreased.
Yes.
So perhaps you'd be in favour then of removing all the stairs used for coming down and simply leaving the ones which are used for going up then?
Yes, yes.
How do you feel about the increased incidence of potato assault?
Potato assault? Very painful.
Have you ever actually been knocked unconscious as a matter of interest?
Yeah, with a cricket ball.
Any thoughts on what it would feel like to be assaulted by a potato?
Very uncomfortable, yeah.
Think it would actually knock you out?
If it was big enough and heavy enough, yeah.
Do you think action should be taken on the use of ballistic potatoes?
Well, I think that'd be a government matter, you know, yeah.
Would you take it that far?
Oh, yeah, with this government, yeah.
Do you think that there should be restricted access to potatoes or a limit on the size?
Just on the size, I think, yeah.
How many pounds?
Oh, I don't really know. Quarter of a pound.
Upsetting the over 60s by chipping their grandchildren into short, rude words. Clockwork diseases. Pushing all the days to the end of the week and then jumping down the gap. Setting aside the next 52 years to work out a way of driving round roundabouts without using the steering wheel. Looking at life through 12 hazy drumlins. There I was, attending to my fortress, when I was grasped by an unusually vast sneeze. One humongous convulsion later, there it was, out. So large, in fact, that the wheels fitted perfectly. Obviously, after that it was no problem to drive the sneeze very fast indeed, straight onto the motorway. You don't need brakes in a sneeze. To stop it, you just pinch your nose and shut your mouth. It wasn't that I didn't see the juggernaut, more that apparently I was only doing 6 miles an hour and my lights weren't on. And you know, I must have been hit with such force because not a single trace of that sneeze was ever found. Signing all your checks, Ilya Nastasi, until it gets dark. Gaining people's confidence so they really open up. Then nicking bits out of them and hiding them in trees. Driving 2 whales mad, and then back along the M5 really relaxed. Leaving the Earth's atmosphere, absolutely nothing in your will. Ocean-going yachts, ocean-going liners, and ocean-going
Shoplifting. Have you ever seen it happen?
I have not seen it. I only heard about it on the news.
What sort of shop do you think would be the easiest sort of shop to lift?
Shops with things at low levels.
So the balance is quite close to the floor?
Probably, yes.
And I guess the lighter shops, such as paper shops, would be easier to lift?
Yes, it probably would be practically, yes.
What do you think then would be the kind of weight which would make it impossible to lift a shop without using industrial equipment?
Something around about 20 or 30 kilograms.
That would make the shop pretty difficult to lift.
Make it pretty difficult, yeah.
Okay, wake up, WC on the radio. Take a look at the news file and the topicality. Nigel Lawson this week going on about mortgage rates. I say, what about lesgage rates? Good morning.
What do you think of the latest rubber prison proposals?
The rubber what?
Prison. It'd be a good idea to build the prisons these days out of rubber?
Yeah.
What effect do you think this would have on people who are trying to escape if the walls were built out of rubber?
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to do it because it'd be too slippery.
And what else would happen if they hit it hard?
Well, it'd probably rebound back at them.
Bounce off?
Bounce off, yeah.
It seems like you're pretty in favour of rubber prisons. What do you reckon about making all buildings out of rubber then?
Well, it lasts longer and they stand up to weather, I can imagine.
And in terms of safety for people and indeed their pets?
Yeah, it could be a good idea.
And rubber cars?
And rubber cars, yeah.
Fun with fossils. Howl at the wrinkled, corpse at the crumblies, with today's exclusive list of words and phrases which you can persuade your grandmother to say because she doesn't know what they mean, when in actual fact they're downright filthy. And just to prove they work, we street tested the following terms.
Parting the beef curtain?
Yeah, again?
Parting the beef curtains.
Add unusual sparkle to that over 60s outing, wouldn't it? And that unlikely cake stall rejoinder.
Purple veined junket pumper.
So again?
Purple veined junket pumper.
Profoundly rude, horribly unfair. That compendium of filthy words and phrases, with practice, we guarantee we'll even have them bawling out the classic
Fanny butter.
What do you think these days, particularly, of invisible charities?
Well, I think that if people wish to contribute to the well-known ones like...
the visible ones?
Yeah, the visible ones, yeah. Red Cross and John's Ambulance, etc., etc. Fair enough.
Oh, yes.
But those who wish to contribute to the invisible ones, then more for them.
Penguinitis.
Pardon?
It has been proposed that if charities were much more clearly marked, then of course they wouldn't be so invisible.
Yes, that's true.
If people who work for them, for example, if their heads were a particular colour.
Yeah, sure.
What do you think would be a good colour for a charitable head? Blue. An artificial blue?
No, sort of the royal blue, something like that.
A royal blue head, and then charities wouldn't be so invisible.
That's right.
Greater London Radio, GLR.
The Bishop of Manchester has banned the hymn O Valiant Hearts because it's theologically inaccurate, and war veterans are now not singing anything at all in church by way of protest.
Good, so presumably the hymns will no longer be ruined by that diabolical croaking and wheezing emanating from the front seats, which you have to admit is somewhat less musical than the last sound made by an asthmatic poodle as it is crushed beneath the wheels of a steamroller, or a consumptive guinea fowl being bounced on concrete.
What we're looking at today is in fact acid broom hiding. Where people are so drug crazed that they go and steal people's brooms and render their houses rather untidy.
I think it's crazy.
Think it's crazy? What about you?
Crazy, yeah. I should say so.
Crazy twice over then. So crazy. What can be done about it?
I don't know. I don't know how they could catch them even. Yeah. It's such a momentous thing, isn't it, this drugs? Terrifying.
Perhaps a television slogan and an advertising campaign fronted by somebody nice might help.
Could do. I mean, it's the more you bring it out in the open, the better, isn't it?
Who would you say would be a good person to front it?
Well, I don't know. I would think those people that are on the children's programmes, not the little children.
Johnny Morris.
Yes, such people.
And what would be a good slogan for them to say?
Why the acid broom stealing? Why steal broom? What do you get out of it?
What do you think about the new fashion, and some would say novel fashion, for unrealistic dogs?
Unrealistic. Is that the Pekingese?
That's a very good example. Think of any others?
Sausage dog.
They're pretty unrealistic too, aren't they?
Yes, fashioned and Pekingese.
Do you think it's a good idea to make dogs increasingly unrealistic?
No, I think, a small type of dog, one you can walk along with is best.
Right, and all the others are particularly unrealistic?
Yeah, a large dog, for running about, perhaps on the downs, and a small dog for walking around the streets.
What about an in-between dog for flying in a helicopter?
In-between dog. No, I can't see that. No.
What sort of dog would be suitable for flying in a helicopter then?
What sort of dog? Bulldog.
Yes, okay. And finally, what would you replace a dog with if you had to?
Well, there's only a cat, isn't there?
A cat or?
Something that can keep company with the dog.
A heron with a sawn-off beak.
Could be, yeah.
Chewing a horse until it's fast asleep. Pepper Poets. Accidentally devoting your life to half a chip. Taking a risk, but putting a skillfully hewn twig in its place so they won't know. At weekends, opening your mouth to the public. It's a well-known fact that for 14 years I've been dwelling on the theory of subatomic particle physics. Happily, it's overwritten, long-winded, and therefore rather large, so I've plenty of room. Also, it floats, which is just as well, since by mere chance it is indeed amid a large watery lake with prevailing winds, and so on. Now, after squinting repentantly down my telescope since February, I did notice a family squadron of tree elephants sculling effusively by in their half-green coracles. If I were you, I'd... What? Oh. Apparently I am you. So I'll just shut up and see what I was going to say. Nurse? Nurse? He's gone. Nurse? Ciphering a few recent peanuts into a well-established chamber orchestra. Inviting most of your friends round to a potato nearby. Disposable narwhals with ripply eggs. Keeping things exactly as they are, except by the soap dish. Expanding your chest so that some air rushes in, then contracting it, so it sort of rushes out again, quite often so you can stay alive for longish periods.
Why doesn't? Why doesn't? Yes. Yes. Just work, work, go. Go, goose a goat.
That's just to remind me that there's a feedback report coming up later. Here are 10 ideas to change the world. Autumn, 89.
Opening a parcel very slowly, in case it burps. Sneaking up on your haunches and clobbering them with a dead dentist. Clanging melons until the honey moans. Glass Stilton. Absent-mindedly getting yourself exported to Brazil. Now, just lately, I've been doing everything in slow motion, in the hope that I'll get a significantly decent refund on my next milk bill. Not a large one, obviously, just enough to pay off the hire purchase on the chimp. Hush, Milko approacheth, bill in hand. Up the rope ladder and... Oh, I say! Hello! Just leave it on the... Drat and shrimp manure. Not a penny. Still, little does he know, poor fool, I've already put a spell on his battery and expectorated in his yogurt. Patronizing bacteria by giving them obviously small portions. Tickling the general's prognosis with a dark grommet. Self-imposed mopeds. Racking your brains into the First Lady's soup. Having your buttocks retimbered and generally fitted out to a very plush standard.
Remote control today, has it gone just too far?
Well, I think with television it has, yes.
What about hi-fi?
I don't think so to the same extent.
What about these remote control carpets?
Never heard of them.
Well, they're used to change colour, tone, Scotchguard pile, and of course shag rating.
All too easy.
What, all of them?
Yes, no effort to be put in.
That's the problem with having a remote control carpet.
In my opinion, yes.
Right, what about remote control dogs, which are just coming? Oh, look, no, you missed it.
Dogs?
What do you think about this?
No, it's making it too easy again.
You think it's cruel to the dog?
Not necessarily, because they do implants in people.
But if you pressed a button to make it lift all its legs at the same time, that would be slightly unfair.
Detract too many decision on the part of the dog.
Yes. I think you're saying that you draw the line somewhere. Where would you draw that line then? Would it be 1 at the threshold of your own house, 2 between 1 dot and indeed the next number up, 3 from the right corner of your mouth right round the back of your head to your left ear, or sleeping with goats and deflowering nuns?
Threshold of my home one.
That's where you draw the line. And with animals?
Anywhere.
Out now from the publishers of the famous Let's School Diary, the Yes Let's Boarding School Diary, and the Why Not It's Only a Passing Phase Diary, comes the complete Animal Lovers Diary. For animal lovers everywhere, whether already convicted or just awaiting prosecution, it includes a full list of stockists, plus advice on snogging a Rottweiler. Should I fit him with rubber teeth? Parrots, will their evidence stand up in court? And trout, do I need a contraceptive? And from the Body Shop, a year's supply of animal beauty products, including chimp depilatory, camel breath freshener, and Terrapin bubble bath. It's the complete Animal Lovers Diary. There's also a Best of Readers' Pet section and a video. Now that's what I call a good old-fashioned veterinary inspection, complete with a year's supply of click film.
I'd like to know how you feel about the recent outbreak of melon atrocities.
Well, it should be stopped immediately as they do it. And
Right, yeah, they should, really.
Do you think it's dangerous?
well, it's dangerous, yes, very dangerous too.
What could be the possible result?
Concussion should be onto it.
There were 3 people recently who were hit by rotten melons, and the actual shell of the melon stuck fast to their head for 2 months. How do you feel about that?
No. Well, it should be stopped on that. Definitely stopped on that.
And if you saw someone about to commit a melon atrocity, what would you say to them?
Well, I'd shout at them and say, wait, what are you bloody doing? And, hey, go on, get out of it, and put it down. Put the melon down.
What do you feel about this increasing fashion for dog bouncing?
I think young people have gone round the bend. That's my opinion.
So you don't agree with dog bouncing?
I would like to catch hold of them and do the same to them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same.
What do you think's making them do this?
Well, they're off the rockers.
Well, they're not quite right in the head, are they?
What have we done to make them like this?
Well, I don't know, because I've brought my family up. You know, my oldest
Not to
son
bounce
is
dogs?
50.
Are you sure they don't bounce dogs when you're not there?
If my son, who's 6'3", saw anybody doing that to a dog, he'd be bounced, I can assure you.
The saddest thing is that quite a lot of these people who do bounce dogs have at one time or another been animal lovers.
Well, not really. There's something in their makeup. Which
At a
is
certain
always
age, a
been-
spring goes in the head.
Yes, they probably squash spiders and things like that.
So what do you think is the worst possible sort of dog to bounce?
A poodle or a small terrier or something like that.
If you saw someone bouncing a dog, what would you say to them?
I'd kick their backsides in as far as they could go.
So that your words would be,
You must be seen by somebody that will cure you of doing that stupid thing.
Making small boys rise angelically by slipping off their gravity with a cheesy smirk. Accelerated toast through a window, like they do on play school. Singing fingers. Undoing the done thing with a glass toothpick and an agile whelk. Turning down a one-way street, in case it wakes up the neighbors. I'm sure I'm not the only one who finds it a tad tricky at this time of year not to fall into a complete shopping daze till Christmas. This struck me around dusk last night. I was listening carelessly to the incessant thrum of the rain outside on the terrace. After about several hours, I concluded I'd be rather less moist indoors. So I drew myself close in to the blazing logs in the hearth. I'll sell my sketch for a few bob later. And found myself pondering vaguely about my conclusion being, man is supposed to be an intelligent, sentient being. Okay? Well, I ask you, cannot every sheep, the dumbest of dumb beasts, cannot the merest of sheep resist the force which makes us buy each Yuletide? But then I realized, of course, they can't. It's just that they simply don't earn much money. It's as obvious as cress, really. Grovelling about in 3 distinct sections. Looking up telephone numbers to see if they wear knickers. Acoustic muslin. Distractedly dealing out a pack of hounds. Going on a dive.
I'm interested to hear what you think about the current proposals to make cardboard generally rather smaller.
Make what?
Cardboard generally rather smaller.
I see. Just to save wastage, well, at least we should do is save the cardboard in any case, what we do with it.
Save the cardboard?
Yes.
It's dying out.
Is that right?
Apparently so.
I see. It's wasted all the time. I'm very sorry to hear it.
So we should make it generally rather smaller?
Absolutely, yes.
Would you go so far as to campaign for this, do you think?
Well, I would, yes, but I've such a lot on now, I couldn't do that as well.
Right, this time tomorrow?
Well, I don't know how I can do it just now, because I'm in other things, you see, besides this.
But mentally you agree with small...
I do mentally agree, yes.
Small cardboard?
Yes, small cardboard. Well, if you could find a way not to use cardboard at all, it'd be a lot better, because look at all these trees that's been knocked down for it.
Swatted?
Yeah.
Swatting the trees to make
that's right.
Big cardboard?
Yes, it's swatting the trees just to make cardboard, so which way you look at it.
So, small cardboard?
Small cardboard, I'll try to do without cardboard altogether.
And how small should it be?
Well, very small indeed, what you're going to use on it.
How small?
Well, on average, I should say about half to what it is now.
Which would be?
The foot by a foot, be 1/8 of an inch thick.
For small cardboard?
Yeah, small cardboard.
Winter 1989.
Neurotic dog hinges. Tickling the fog until Mr. Misty comes out with his muffins. Boxing gloves, and then really lumping mittens. Becoming the necessary horse. Leaping about, and leaping about half an hour ago, officer, on a motorbike. Supermarkets. It's great fun, isn't it? To slither sideways in a grotesque and off-putting manner past the fish counter so that it starts giving inaccurate readings. Of course, it doesn't pay to get caught. So if you think you've been spotted, curl up medium tight. Swallow your face so no one sees it, and waggle half your hands about in your ears. With any luck, they could just mistake you for a delinquent pea crab. Good. Well done. And since I'm feeling strangely generous, I'll meet you at the stage door and give you a drop of the old molten trouser routine. Nurse, fetch me the rubber priest hole. Risk assessment with a small beard. Postilion-flavoured manifestos. Bouncing lively into the zoo, hollowing out a few stalks, shouting at them till they go hard, then selling them as hip flasks for people with too many pelvises. Hammering corks firmly into every conceivable orifice, so you stay up all night. Furtively undertaking to rummage the madame's.
What do you think of the very latest proposals to make a few more red things?
Well, I don't think very much, really. I don't like too highly coloured things.
So what do you think of the let's make a few more red things society?
I expect it attracts the younger people, but it doesn't appeal to me so much.
Do you think it could be dangerous if taken to an extreme?
Oh, I do. Yes, I do.
What could be the problems? If, for example, most of the things we were looking at here were all red.
Red, yes.
What could
too glaring, too glaring.
Do you think it would affect people's heads?
Could do, yes, could do.
What could it do?
Send them a little bit crazy, I think.
So how many more things should we be allowed to make red?
Well, 34.
It is a disgrace and it is a public scandal.
Chris Mark.
Morris.
Good morning, wake up, WC on the radio. Just wonderful to be with you. And just checking out some celebrity gossip and some of your letters for Waity's mail. Good morning and hello, WC on the radio. And I've just got to check through some of the celebrity stories and the gossip. We see here that, well, I was reading a review of a brand new film about the life of Jerry Lee Lewis, and it's called Great Balls of Fire. And I said the guy said that he wasn't too hot on the film. He said that they left out the bit about him. What's that? Sorry, my producer's interrupting here. What? Pedophile? Okay, well, apparently, yeah, he had a great big collection of information about feet. I see also here, it's reported that Parkinson helps Reed with a tight safety schedule. Old Reedy always did have a little bit of a tight schedule. Remember when he used to do the breakfast show on Radio 1? And he was always late for that, so nice to see old Parky helping him out there with his schedule today. Good friends stick together, okay. And talking about Radio 1, Red Face Radio 1 last week apologized to listeners after bungling technicians played the same show 2 nights running. The slip on the John Peel show was only discovered when a producer phoned from home and bawled at them. I mean, what a bunch of wallies, right? I mean, you should never, ever let that kind of thing happen, particularly on Radio 1, National Radio 1. And I guess there's a sort of thing which can easily happen with the tape, which is why I always do my programs live. Wake up, WC on the radio. And I see that last week, Radio 1 apologized to listeners after bungling technicians played the same tape 2 nights running. The slip on the John Peel show was only discovered when a producer phoned from home and bawled at them. What a bunch of wallies. I mean, especially on National Radio 1. What a ridiculous thing to do. It's the sort of thing which I guess is easy to do with tape, but that's why I do all my shows live. Good morning. And I see here that a quote from Dave Stewart of the Olympics says, people think I'm a scruffy Yorkshire Terrier, and that's an insult. You're damn right, Dave. Terriers aren't as scruffy as all that. And news about Eric Clapton, too. I see that Eric Clapton says he nearly blew his brains out in a fit of depression. Guess the guy just needed a bit of real care and attention from some genuine people. But, you know, when it comes down to it, there aren't too many of those around. And it was difficult, mind you. He was very moody at the time. And when I went round to visit anyway. But I didn't care, you know, because I was doing it for an old friend. And his doctor said something about cold turkey, but I knew the guy wasn't hungry. And anyway, the bloke I met outside in the bushes said that what Eric really needed was these little tablets and a bit of icing sugar in tinfoil. He said Eric would give me some money to show how glad he was. So I took him in. And old Eric swore at me a lot, but I took him in. That was the main thing. And he was in such a bad way, you know, in the head that he actually put the sugar up his nose. It was really sad to watch, but he seemed a lot better after that. He gave me 200 quid. Nice touch, Eric. Thanks very much. Although I didn't need it, you know. I was just doing it for a friend. I was just, I gave 10% of the money to charity. He threw up about 20 minutes later, Eric, but that was when I just had to go, poor bloke. It's nice to know I did just a little bit to help him. No hard feelings, Eric, mate, by the way, if you are listening, even if you never dropped me a note of thanks or wrote a song about me. It's just a natural gift I seem to have with people, just helping them out. Okay, just a little bit of charity there, Waycard WC on the radio. And more celebrity gossip and letters. Got a quick letter here. Dear Wayne, my friends and I were discussing girls, and we couldn't make up our minds what our approach should be. It says, Dear Wayne, do you believe in promiscuity? That's Baz, Eric, and Ped there. Well, guys, promiscuity. I don't, actually. I think if you make a promise, you should keep it. And by the way, let me know how you get on with a chick. So why not have a competition, see how many you can get off with during the course of 1 week?
What do you think of these recent proposals to make a few more red things?
A few more what?
Red things.
Red things?
Well, obviously there aren't as many as there could be at the moment.
Oh, there's enough red things about, isn't there?
Are there?
There's enough red things about. Fire engines, post boxes. It's too hard to colour, isn't it?
Could it be dangerous to have too many red things?
Yeah.
What sort of...
A bit more placid, a bit more toned down.
Downbeat.
Yeah, downbeat.
What could be the danger in having too many red things?
Well, if you have too many red things, your eyes start going, don't they?
And could it affect people's heads?
Well, yeah, I should think so.
What sort of effect could
what
it have?
What they say about red flags to a board, it affect people the same.
So, would you call for a limitation on the number of red things?
Oh, yeah. Red, I don't like red anyway.
Okay, how many more red things should we be allowed?
Oh, about 3 or 4.
How do you feel about the recent insurgence of hollow milk?
I try and ignore all aspects of diet where possible, because the more I worry about, the more likely I am to get anything, quite frankly. So,
even in the case of hollow milk?
I usually go for ordinary full cream milk without reservation. If I want to look after my own physical capability, I take additional exercise.
Do you think other people should be allowed to buy hollow milk?
If they wish to, and if it's there's no proven physical damage to them, then why not?
What do you think the advantages would be?
Less fat content, and that means obviously lower cholesterol levels.
The problem being that a lot of people don't know how to tell hollow milk from its normal counterpart.
I take it that this is the colouring of the top coating on the milk cartons.
You can tell it from the colour if it's been labelled honestly, but it also makes a different sound.
I would say that the specific gravity of such a product is rather lower than normal. Therefore, if its density is less, then it would make a slightly higher sound.
Of hollow milk?
Of hollow milk, yes.
Came over in their thousands, some for the duration, but some just to have a look, take a few pictures and join in the party. Yes, there are about 700,000 reporters here, all jockeying for position in world history. Some of them struggling to say things as memorable as I counted them out, I counted them back, things like diggers, munched down the wall, down, down, down the wall, down, down, etc. and so on. Many East Germans have come over just to see what they look like. How have you welcomed the advent of the sniffer chicken?
Sniffer chicken?
Yeah.
I approve that.
You approve of that?
Yeah, because...
why is that?
Well, if a chicken's got more sense of smell than what a dog has...
Oh, yes.
He can do more good than what a dog can.
And, of course, the chicken is more agile and can get into tighter corners.
Oh, yeah, they can get into tighter corners.
And they can stay underwater for much longer, too.
That's right, yeah.
I suppose the flip side of this coin is that the chicken has to become addicted to the drugs in order to function.
Yeah, to function. Yeah, to function. Because I mean, say when they train a dog for that sort of thing, they make sure he gets to smell the drug first.
Yeah.
A chicken's got to be the same, really.
Is it fair to make a chicken completely out of its nut on drugs?
I could do, I think myself.
And it was only recently that one particular chicken had so much stuff in its head that it believed itself to be a purple Mars monster.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. They would.
And it made a very horrible sound.
Yeah, I mean, don't get a chicken who's only got a very small head, isn't it?
For simply massive star prize? Do you wake up in the morning with a platoon of drug-crazed baboons in your belly? Do you suffer the perpetual shame of your kids being nicknamed Blue Gob or Woadmouth, and then coming home from school and asking, Mummy, Mummy, why is Granny going... What you need and can win today is a year's supply of lead-free milk. Yes, you may have to stop using it to prevent rust, you may have to stop using yogurt as face paint, you may even have to stop using cheese to mend the roof, but there will be no more embarrassing family scenes like this.
Dad, why does my tea taste funny?
Oh, shut up and drink it before your milk sinks. Yes, don't miss this wonderful opportunity to win a year's supply of lead-free milk. And if you're a farmer who's decided to cut down on those embarrassing noxious emissions, there's a free cattle converter.
It's the fastest dog in the world, you know it. He's our best by far. Wake up.
Okay, and good morning. Wonderful to be with you. Wake up, WC on the radio. Just checking out some of the news and tonicality from the news file, the Hot FM public over London, 94.9 and GLC. And we see here that, reported in the papers last week, low-key start to royal visit for Hong Kong. Guess they must have all their locks on the bottom of the doors there. And Tory candidates to fight Ulster seats. I know they may be Irish, but actually launching an attack on the thing you're sitting on strikes me as pretty damn stupid. Wayne Carr, WC on the radio. And we're checking out with a wonderful time check local, national and international dial with a ferret on the radio. So
Chris Mark.
Morris.